Hi guys, this is Igor from Reverie Wine Merchant. Today I want to give a brief overview about the wine club selections for March. So first we do the Adventurous Club and then we do the High Society. Alright, so we'll start with the whites and then we go to the reds and finish up with all the fun stuff. Alright, so the first one is from Brokenwood, which is the winery in Hunters Valley. This is a great Semillon. So it's the grape is Semillon, and it's mostly made into the sweet wines in Suertes, or blended into dry wines in Bordeaux with a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc. But this Hunters Valley in Australia, it's also known to make fantastic Semillons. And Brokenwood, I think, is one of the best producers, and this is their entry-level wine. It's a wine that's beautiful to drink early with like seafood. But as you age it, it's kind of becomes more complex, more kind of honey notes. So it's one of the long aging white wines in the wine world. So it's a great example, and I think this is a fun example for the wine club. All right, now we're going to the Dolomites in the kind of sub-Alps of Italy, Alta Adige region, and this is the Luciola Grape. So Alta Adige makes great mountainous, refreshing white wines like Sauvignon Blanc, Kerner, Pinot Gris. I think they make some of the best Pinot Gris in Italy. So Luciola is the only indigenous grape in that region. So it's fun. So this is like, once again, a refreshing wine, and it's got this beautiful kind of herbal, refreshing aftertaste that kind of just lingers on your palate. So a really beautiful wine. So obviously, two white wines would be in the white selections, and for the mixed selections it would be nosiola and this other grape we're going to have here from Spain, Mencia. So Mencia is the great, I think, red grape from northwest Spain. We're talking about Albarino countries, like in that vicinity. It's a medium-bodied grape. It reminds me a lot of good example of Loire Cabernet Franc. So it's very bright fruit, medium body, just a good wine to pair with a lot of food. So this is from Maquinay Tabla. I think they're one of these young up-and-coming Spanish producers who are kind of trying to revive the heritage of Spanish wines, and they work with a lot of old vine grapes, including this Mencia. So it's a really beautiful wine, and if you can kind of see, it has really kind of beautiful label on it. I typically don't talk about labels, but I'm sure you've seen before how some wineries, they ask artists to make labels for them. To kind of, I think probably to stand out. Really, when you're shopping for wine, frequently the first thing that jumps out at you is how good the label looks. And I typically don't judge wines that way, but the only thing that jumped out to me here is these are the works. These are based on the works of Francisco Goya, who arguably is the greatest Spanish painter of all time. So I just wanted to bring it up. Most of the labels that you ever see by other artists are probably not on par with Francisco Goya. Just kind of like as a little side note. All right. And finally, for the other red wine. So if you are in the red wine club, you will get this wine. This is from Côte Castillon in Bordeaux. It's Merlot, mostly Merlot with a little bit of Cabernet Franc. Lettre is the name of the producer. So this is actually the third wine of Chateau Le Pin. And if you guys are not familiar with Chateau Le Pin, they are a Pomerol property. And Pomerol is, along with Semillon, are the two famous villages on the right bank in Bordeaux. And the right bank wines are based on the Merlot grape. But what's nice about Le Pin is they're probably, arguably, the second most famous winery in Pomerol, next to Petrus. If you wine drinkers, they know that Petrus is one of the most famous and expensive wines in the world. So Le Pin is on par with that. Their first wine, their Grand Vin, I think that it retails over like $4,000 a bottle, just to give you a context. So this is their third wine. So it's the same team that makes that wine, makes this wine from areas right outside of Pomerol. So you get, I think, a fantastic wine as a third label from this, from one of the best winemakers in the world. So once again, these would be the red wine. So this is the Adventurous Wine Club. selections. All right, let's go to high society, the fun stuff. So you have two red wines here. The first one is from Suertes del Marques. So we were just talking about some of the best winemakers in Bordeaux. To a lesser extent, these are probably the best winemakers in Canary Islands, off the coast of Spain. So Canary Islands are known for their volcanic soils, and this wine comes from the volcanic soil. So it's based on the Lista grape, which is indigenous to the area. It's a medium-bodied grape, probably in a Pinot Noir spectrum. I think it has more body than the Pinot Noir, but it's like light to medium-bodied wine, and it just got this beautiful combination of fruit and minerality, which comes typically from volcanic soils. And great wine to, I think, pair with like a lot of dishes. Maybe like white meat, maybe even some red meats. And it comes from a single vineyard, from some of the oldest vines on the island. So I think some of the vines are over 90 years old for this wine. So I think a fantastic wine from Suertes del Marques. And finally, from Greece, Alpha Estate. Alpha Estate is they're based in the Amdayan region, which is kind of northwest Greece, and they're just kind of jack of all trades winery. They make a lot of different grapes, and they're one of the very few exceptions of any wineries in the world that make all of them exceptionally. So they concentrate on both kind of international varieties and indigenous varieties. They made one of the best tannats I've ever had. They made the only Pinot Noir of quality that I ever had from Greece. They make a really nice Chardonnay. And then from some of the indigenous varieties, they make the great Assyrtiko grape well. And they also make Xinomavro, the great red grape well. So this wine is called SMX. That's the name of the blend. It's kind of a combination of the two. So it's Syrah, Merlot, Xinomavro. That's SMX. So it's a great full-bodied wine, like big tannins on this wine. You're looking for like lamb, or other red meats, but I think this is just like a fantastic wine. So these are the two wines for the High Society Club. Once again, you could read more about these wines in the insert in the newsletter, or just check out the website. I have more write-ups of these wines. I have the scores, all the great scores that they get from wine critics. But it's just fun selection. So, all right, guys. I hope if you're in the wine club, enjoy these wines. If you're not in the wine club, come in and I'll talk more about these wines because I have more of them for sale. All right, thank you guys. Have a nice day.